So the other day I made a video about taking banjo rhythm and kind of evolving it beyond the basic Frailing strum. So it was something to the effect of, and part of that is getting a better control over the drop thumb technique, right? But in that video I didn't try to label it as drop thumb or clawhammer or whatever. I was just trying to break it down and say, you know, you're using your middle fingernail primarily for the quarter notes, and you're using your thumb to break those notes in half. So it's right. Now, obviously, a part of that is the drop thumb, and the question I got was, how do you get control over that drop thumb? How do you? It's sort of a barrier, especially if all you've done is basic Frailing strum. Basic Frailing strum, one of the reasons it's considered basic is because it's really accessible, and you could go your whole banjo life and do that and play a lot of wonderful, pretty much all the songs with that strategy, and you can break the note in half using techniques like hammer-ons, pull-offs, and slides, or whatever, without actually using the drop thumb. The drop thumb is just another tool in the belt, but it's a great tool, and I've learned to enjoy it more. I'm not great at it yet. I'm still learning myself, but what I wanted to do today is show you what I do to work on getting better at it. So first, the drop thumb, when we say drop thumb, it's the idea is instead of the standard pulling off of the 5th string, you're going to come down, and you can take that thumb and you're going to alternate it against the 5th and 2nd string. Now, if you approach it from that angle, it's going to seem really challenging. You're going to get intimidated by, you know, how do I aim? How do I get it just right? I found it was easier if you start by practicing with your thumb already in the position. So, for example, you're going to strike the 1st string with your middle fingernail, and you're going to pull the thumb off the 2nd string. So what you can do is you can just kind of rest your hand right here as if that's your resting position, and then just strum the 1st string and then pull the thumb off the 2nd string. And don't worry about rhythm right now. I know I just made a video talking about rhythm, but for right now, don't worry about rhythm. Just think about position. See if you can do that and make clear notes. And try that now with your thumb on the 3rd string. Your middle fingernail is still striking the 1st string. And then alternate it. If you, then try a different combination. Strike the 2nd string with your middle fingernail and pull your thumb off the 2nd string. Now, there's no particular order to this. It's just try to work on all the different combinations. So you can do 1st and 2nd string, 1st and 3rd, 1st and 4th, 2nd and 3rd, 2nd and 4th, and 3rd and 4th, and of course the 5th. So once you get comfortable with getting a clear sound, because you've got good contact, and don't worry about the thumb sounding as bright as the middle fingernail. The middle fingernail has a harder surface, so like a guitar pick against a string, it's going to have a brighter tone. The thumb is going to sound warmer. That's fine. Again, the thumb is really there to break those quarter notes in half, so it really serves as an accent. Now, once you've got the contact, once you feel comfortable with making contact with the strings, now try to bring rhythm back in. So now go as slow as you need to go. And remember, the thumb is breaking the quarter note in half, so it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And try changing positions every 4 notes. Don't worry about making mistakes. When you're working on rhythm, at that point, don't stop if you flub or hit the wrong string. Just focus on keeping your rhythm and keep going. Then once you feel comfortable with that, then you can try every other note moving your thumb into a different spot, right? So the most standard, or I should say easiest way to do drop thumb is you strike with your middle fingernail on the first string, thumb on the second, and then middle fingernail again on the first string, and then thumb on the fifth. And just alternate. I find that to be the easiest because it's easier to find that spot. But at this point, your thumb is really floating and you don't have anything other than muscle memory to find your spot. So it's really about that comfort of knowing the distance between your thumb and your finger. What's the angle? So obviously when you're doing an angle, the first 2 strings, the angle's going to be more acute, but when you're over here, more obtuse. And the only way to get good at that is practice. And you'll notice I accidentally keep hitting the 3rd string there. Don't worry about that. Eventually you're going to want to know to do that anyway. And then once you get comfortable with that pattern, change the pattern up. And then when you get really comfortable, you can increase the rhythm. Now here's where it's going to get really hard. And if you've gotten to that point, you're already well on your way and you're going to do fine. But here's where it gets fun and interesting. Try alternating between the basic Frailing strum and the drop thumb. A lot of the drop thumb books, they'll start you exclusively with this drop thumb technique, and then you'll switch chords. Same thing with the basic Frailing strum. So it's now, what you don't see a lot of is combining the 2 together, and that's where it gets really fun. And it gets even more confusing when you want to introduce those left-handed dynamics. So it's I don't want to get you too bogged down in that. This is not something you learn in one evening. It'll take you all summer. I'm still working on it. what I like to do is I make up these little exercises for myself, and this is not anything formal. This is just find some melody with your left hand that you like, some chords, and work up the neck. And since you're only striking 2 strings at a time, you can do partial chords. So I do something kind of like this. And I think really what I'm doing there is I'm doing a G shape, D, C, B minor, and then a C, and then G, and then D7, and then G up here, C, D, and then back to G. But I'm only doing the partial chords, so it's... You can mix it up and try to make a song out of it. And then you can try alternating between something like this. See, I'm even making mistakes myself, but you keep going. And when you get to that point, you might as well just start playing regular songs, so you get with your regular chords. Now, I like to work my songs off of chord shapes, but a lot of the tabs, they just do the single finger notes off of the G scale. So I know that can seem intimidating by the end there, but again, just if you're struggling with it, remember it just takes 1,000. Just do it 1,000 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, and on and on. It's just muscle memory. And then you put it all together. So it's more of what I've been talking about, but maybe with a slightly different approach. So I hope that helps.